You know what time it is, everybody. It is time for Read the Lines Celebrity Guest Picker. And this week, I've got a great one. Insider knowledge. I can't wait to talk to him. I have Noah Norton with me. Just graduated Georgia Tech, but that's not the important part. This guy's played in 7 USGA championships. Most recently, one of them was 2019 US Open at Pebble Beach. He's from Northern California. The guy's a stick, and he definitely knows how to play the link side there in Monterey. So we're going to bring him on right now. Noah Norton, welcome to Read the Line. How are you today, bud?
Good, man. Keith, thanks for having me. I'm pretty excited about it.
All right, now, you were one of 15 amateurs that made the field in 2019 that was won eventually by Gary Woodland, right? Real quick, what was that experience like? What was your first impression walking up to a U.S. Open?
Oh, I mean, it was pretty special, especially growing up in Northern California. It was kind of like a home field event. There was a lot of people from my hometown, Chico, just out there. They're staying there. I had the last tee time each day, and they hung out. They walked all the way out to when I finished on 9. I mean, they stuck with me the whole way. It was pretty special experience.
Man, that's amazing. You know, and I mentioned it quickly. I mean, you have quite the pedigree already. You've played in 5 U.S. AMs. You've played in 2 U.S. Juniors. And, of course, this U.S. Open we're going to talk about. When you started to prepare, I mean, you know how to play in these big high-level tournaments, and that's why I bring it up. When you started to prepare for Pebble, what were you looking to do when you saw, I mean, you know the golf course. I think you played there the first time, what, you were 14 with your grandfather?
Exactly. That's right.
All right, man. So when you started to, you knew the golf course. When you started to prepare for that week, what were you working on?
So even prior to the U.S. Open in 19, they had the U.S. Am there in 18, which when I played there, kind of had a good look at it. And the funny thing about Pebble is that the greens are still a little bit smaller than most of the courses out there on tour, and they're more severe. So, I mean, if you stay below the hole out there, it's typically kind of the main focus. And then obviously it was a U.S. Open, so you knew you had to hit it straight. So my preparations were mainly how I was hitting it off the tee. Hitting fairways were important, and then what my placement was, or where my placement was around the pins on the greens, where they were and where I was going to leave it if I was going to miss the shot. So that was the main focus, because if you're short-sighted out there or you're in the rough, you're going to have a hard time.
So now you've played 2 prestigious USGA events there. Now that you've done that, afterwards, were those still the priorities, or would you have changed your approach?
So looking back so it's actually kind of funny. They played completely different. When I played the Am, of course, they're different events because the Am lasts, I think it's 7 days or 6 days. And the Open's only 4, right? So the Open, they start, the rough is thick the first day you're there. Like the practice round, you're losing balls. But the US Am, it kind of started out a little bit lighter. Probably for stroke play, you're playing 312 guys. So the fairways were much, much wider, about probably 50% wider for the Am, and the rough was about twice as thick for the Open. So it wasn't really the same course, so I kind of went in thinking, I hit it pretty straight at the US Am, and if I had it over again, I'd hit it more drivers, because those fairways were about as tight as I've ever seen. And I think they do that every year, so there's a reason why the US Open is the US Open. But hitting it straight is a key out there.
All right. So we start building this player for this week. The guy's got to be accurate off the tee. Not necessarily long, but accurate, correct?
Yeah. I mean, when I was looking at the sheet of players, the names who jump off immediately are the ball strikers. Zahl Taurus, obviously, after last week, you see him hitting the driver. He hits it far and straight. Man hits it better than anybody out there, and kind of struggles on the greens, but it doesn't matter. He hits it so dang good.
He was unbelievable last week. He probably should have pulled it off. He didn't. Of course, we at Read the Line had Luke List, so we weren't too worried about that in a playoff. Are you kidding me? I mean, it was unbelievable. Anyway, what a shot in the end for the tap-in birdie. All right, yeah. Zahl Taurus at the top, hits it straight. Is there any other characteristics you're looking for in a player this week? I mean, Pebble Beach has like the smallest greens on tour. Are we talking around the green guys? How much of a key is putting going to be? Give me a couple ideas here, based upon your experience.
So what I would kind of look at is obviously the guy who wins is the guy who's going to be hitting it the closest. Because, I mean, if you're not hitting it close out there, you can't get away with it because the greens are too small. And if you're not hitting it accurate enough and you short side yourself, that's almost always a bogey. But guys who have some feel, but most of those guys have feel out there. But, I mean, Phil's went out there so many times because, I mean, he's got a good feel for the area. So having some experience out there is important too, like California boys, and have a lot of success. So like I was thinking about Will kind of jumped off the page immediately because of obviously last week and he hits it really straight. But a thing that Torrey's different than Pebble is Torrey distance is a big difference maker out there. And Pebble, Spyglass, not as important to hit it far. It's important to hit it straight. So I was starting to look through kind of the longer names down the sheet, or the longer shots, I guess, to win the whole thing. There's a name the guy who's on Corn Ferry. He's out of Alabama in 2018, I think, maybe 19. Lee Hodges, unbelievable ball striker. I think he just tore up an event recently. I don't know where, but I saw the name at the top of the leaderboard, and I wouldn't be shocked if he has a solid week. But
he was great in that Pro-Am format down at the Amex. That's where he was good. Lee.
Yeah. I mean, the man, he's gonna have plenty of success out there. So is his teammate Davis Riley. They're both incredible ball strikers. So I just immediately think of those two. I know Davis was actually, I think he lost in the round of 4 or round of 8 at the USAM in 18 when it was the last time he played. So he also had some success out there. So those are two names that jump off, kind of probably not super high odds that they go out and win, but definitely have potential to have a good week. And then a person I'm probably rooting for who's played enough out there to have the experience, enjoys the week, is Jason Day. He's getting back into the feel of getting the juices going under competition. It was a little bit different for him. He didn't close out well, but a lot of times you see like how Jordan came back from 4 years. He got into the mix of it a couple times, then won. I think last week's going to be huge for Jason Day. He's just starting to get back into it, and he's getting the juices flowing again. You never know, it might gel this week after being so close last week.
All right, so you got me started now. Day, he's got 7 top 10s there. All right, so I don't mind his odds at 20-1. All right, we can make some money there, and then they'll fluctuate as the week goes on here. But I'm going to throw you a couple more names. I want to get some real quick rapid fire reactions. Defending champ Daniel Berger. What do you got?
It's so hard to go against that guy. I mean, the guy is so good. I mean, the swing's unique, but I mean, never misses left. And winning last year, I would just think that he probably has a solid week, but probably isn't the winner, is what I'm thinking.
Patrick Cantley. All right, his coach is Jamie Mulligan, who also happens to coach Luke List. Right? Can we get can Jamie Mulligan get back-to-back wins? How about Cantley? He's a California boy.
It's there's a reason he's got to be the favorite because I mean, unbelievable player, California boy. If I looked at the field without the odds, I would have probably picked him out. But now that he's the favorite, I kind of want to root for a long shot. But that man is going to be playing really well.
Last name, big name, Spieth. 5 top 10s. He's won there, right? You mentioned his name a little earlier. He had some success there just last year. Is he the type of guy that can compete in that Pro-Am format, 3 different courses, and Pebble Beach? He's got a lot of success at Pebble. What do you think?
I mean, he's a guy who's played really well. Like, he has his spots. He plays well at Augusta almost every year. So he certainly has that going for him, but he did just miss his first cut in 20 starts last week. So how he bounces back, it's kind of a flip the coin. I probably wouldn't put my money on him just because, you know, he's probably just missed a cut. He's probably working on some stuff and trying to just improve on that. But then again, you never know with these guys. They're all really good. He could just turn it on. But I would probably pick someone else in those top 5 picks. I like those guys a little bit better than Speed.
All right. I mentioned it earlier. Last question for you. You're a Yellow Jacket. A lot of alumni pride, there's no doubt. You got Vince Whaley in the group. You got Justin Hadley. You've got Matt Kuchar playing this week. But I'm kind of thinking about it's almost got to be Cameron Tringale's time.
Mhm.
Do you think it can be his time, though, at Pebble Beach?
He's always up there.
He plays great there.
He does.
Do you think that this could be his place to break through? And, I mean, have you talked to those guys? I mean, how are they feeling?
So I talked to probably Stu and Vince the most, because they're in Atlanta. And I mean Tringali, I mean the dude's up there all the time. He's so consistent. And after last week, you got to think that, they start trending the right direction. Usually before they win, they have a good finish. So Tringali is definitely a name that jumps out at you. I mean, I'm always rooting for Vince. I mean, he's one of my closest friends up here, so I know he makes a lot of cuts, and eventually he's gonna get it. He's gonna break out, and I feel like he's due. So I'm rooting for him to do it. And Stu is about the nicest guy on the planet. And I talked to him last Tuesday before he left, and he's starting to feel better. He's played pretty well the first couple rounds in Hawaii and just didn't close out the weekend well, so he could also make some noise.
All right, Noah Norton. That's it. You got to pick somebody. Who's winning?
Who's winning? I'm going to probably go. I want to pick Jason Day. I really want him to win.
I love that. I love that. Well, folks, subscribe, read, and win like we did with Luke List. But you got to read this week to see whether or not I take Noah Norton's pick, Jay Day. I do love it, but we'll find out in the newsletter. Talk to you guys all soon. Noah Norton, really appreciate you coming on and spending the time with us and all the insights. Really great stuff, man.
Yep, thanks for having me.
All right, folks, that's Read the Line Celebrity Guest Picker. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.